Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the day 17 of our computer vision series. The link of the playlist is in the description below, so make sure to check out the entire playlist. And today is the part 3 of our virtual mouse mini series. So in the previous two videos we saw how we can move our cursor using our index finger and how we can create a click by moving our index finger and our thumb close together. So in this part of the video we are going to see how we can scroll up and scroll down using our hand. To be more precise, how we can scroll up and scroll down using our wrist. So our wrist is going to be that part of our hand that is going to control our up and down movement. If I move my wrist up, it's going to scroll up, and if I move my wrist down, it's going to scroll down for me. So if you guys have not watched my previous two videos, I highly recommend that you guys go and watch the video, because in that video I have properly and perfectly explain how to add the cursor movement and how to create the click effect. Because if you guys have perfectly understood that video, this video is going to be a piece of cake for you guys. So before starting to code this out, first let's see how this thing actually works. So this is my hands. My thumb is represented by the red circle, my index finger by the green circle, and my wrist is represented by the blue circle. Now you're going to see as I move my wrist up, it's going to scroll up for me. And when I move my wrist down, it is actually going to scroll down for me. So I can move my hand further away if I want to scroll really down. So it's basically perfectly controlling my scroll up and scroll down motion. I can even move a little bit faster to control the motion, and it's still going to work. So that I think is pretty awesome. So now that you guys have seen how this program is going to run, let's hop on and start coding it out. But before doing that, let's look at the requirements. We need the same three libraries that we've been using in the previous videos: OpenCV, MediaPipe, and PyOTGI. So if you guys have not installed this, you guys can write this line in your terminal and it will be installed for you. So let's head to the main.py file. This code is from my previous video. Okay, right now this code is in this code my index finger is used to control my cursor, and when I move my index finger and my thumb close together, it's going to create the click effect. Okay, so these are the only two things that this code is right now doing, and I've explained this code in very much detail in my previous videos, so you guys can check it out. The link will be in the description. I'm going to give a quick overview of what is happening over here. So we're using the hands model from the MediaPipe library to detect the hands for us, and then we're using the draw landmarks function from the MediaPipe to draw the landmarks as well as the hand connections. So according to MediaPipe, a hand has 21 landmarks. This is that diagram that I've been showing you in the previous videos as well, and if you can see, the index fingertip is represented by the 8th landmark and the thumb tip is represented by the 4th landmark. So over here we have just saved those in two variables, and then we have converted our normalized index finger and the thumb coordinates into our camera pixels, just so that we can draw the circles on top of them. Okay, and then this was for moving the cursor. Okay, and this was for the clicking. Okay, this was for creating the click. Now that I've explained the code briefly to you guys, let's move to our scroll feature. So let's first see the steps that we are going to do to achieve that effect. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is to detect the wrist, since our wrist is the part that is going to control our scroll effect. When I move my wrist up, it's going to scroll up, and when I move my wrist down, it's going to scroll down. So just like I have detected my index finger and my thumb, it's important that I detect my wrist as well. I save that in a variable as well so that I can use it later on. So 0th landmark is the one that is my wrist, basically, according to MediaPipe. So what I'm going to do is, just as I created a variable for my index finger and my thumb, I am going to create a variable for my wrist as well. And since this is my landmark number 0, so I am going to pass 0 over here. Now this wrist that you see over here is going to have three coordinates: the x coordinate, the y coordinate, and the z coordinate. We are not concerned with the z coordinate, we are only going to deal with the x and the y coordinates. Now it has some x and the y coordinates, but these are the normalized coordinates. Normalized coordinates means that the value of these coordinates lie between 0 and 1. If I want to draw a circle on top of my webcam, wherever there is my wrist, I have to convert those normalized coordinates into my camera pixels. Now over here what I did was I first calculated my frame shape, and I saves the width of my webcam or my frame in W and the height of my webcam or my frame in the H variable. And to convert them into the camera pixels, to convert my index finger and my thumb coordinates into my camera pixels, I multiplied the X coordinate with the width and the Y coordinate with the height. And this is exactly what I'm going to do for my wrist as well. So there's nothing new that's happening over here. I'm going to call these variables as WX and WY, and I'm simply going to multiply my X coordinate with my width of my webcam, and I am going to multiply the Y coordinate of my wrist with the height of my webcam. Now that I've created some camera coordinates WX and WY, which are representing my wrist on the webcam, I am going to draw a circle on top of it. This step is totally optional. If you don't want to draw a circle, you can skip this step, but since I have drawn a circle for my index finger as well as a thumb, I'm going to draw a circle for my wrist as well, because why not? So it's called as circle, and then I'm going to pass the frame on which I want to draw. The next thing is the center point. So the center point will be WX and WY. Then I have to define some radius. So the radius is going to be circle, and then I have to define a color. So I use blue and green already, so I'm going to use red for this one. So it's going to be no, I've used red and green already, so I'm going to use blue for this. So 25500, since it's BGR, and then I have to define the thickness. Since I want my circle to be completely filled, I am going to pass a -1 over here. So nothing new happened in this code as well. We just detected the wrist, we converted the wrist coordinates, the wrist normalized coordinate, into our camera pixels so that we can draw a circle on top of it. So this is the code that is actually controlling the movement of my cursor, and this is the code that is actually creating the click effect. We are not going to touch that code. We're going to come over here, and now let me first explain what we're trying to do if you want to create the scroll effect. Okay, so I told you guys, in fact I showed you guys, that we are going to use our wrist to move up and down. If I move my wrist up, it's going to scroll up, and if I move my wrist down, it is going to scroll down for me. But how are we going to achieve that? How is my program going to know that my wrist is moving up or down? Okay, so for that we are going to do a few things. Okay, and I'm going to tell that step by step. So obviously my wrist is going to have some Y coordinate. Okay, over here it is having some X value and it is also having some Y coordinate, but we're only concerned with the Y coordinate, because if my hand is moving up or down, only the Y axis is changing. Even if the X axis is changing, we are not concerned with it. Okay, so we're only concerned with the Y coordinate. That is one thing. Okay, now initially when my program has not detected any hand, the WY value will obviously be none, because there is no hand. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to create a variable. We're going to create a variable and we're going to set its value as none. Okay, I've already created this variable. I'm going to call this variable as previous WY, and I'm going to set its value as none. Okay, now what we're trying to do is, as soon as my program detects a wrist, it is going to update this value. Okay, it is going to update my value and set it equal to my new WY value. Okay, so this is one thing that we have to do. Okay, so obviously when there is no hand, the value will be none, but as soon as it detects it is, the value of my previous WY will be WY, and we are going to use that value for our future frames as well. Okay, now before writing the code, I'm going to explain in detail what or how we are going to achieve this scroll effect. So I'm going to run my program and I'm going to explain the y-axis, the y coordinates in detail to you. Okay, so I am now going to bring my hands in the start, and let me first explain the coordinates to you guys. So this top left corner of the webcam is actually 0 0. 0 0 means that the x value is 0 over here and the y value is 0 over here, but as I move towards the right, the value of my x axis increases, and as I move down, the value of my y axis increases. Okay, so this is one important thing that you guys should know. Now I'll bring my hand inside and I'll show you how we're gonna create the scrolling effect. So this is my hand over here. Now let's imagine that the y value or the wy over here is 50. Okay, if I move up, the wy value will obviously decrease. If it was 50 over here, it is going to be, let's say, 30 over here. Okay, so the y value has decreased, and let's say if it was 50 over here and I move my hand down, I move my wrist down, the wy value will increase. Now, why did we create the previous variable, the previous wy variable? Just so that we can calculate the difference, okay, just so that we can know whether we're trying to scroll up or down. And I'll show you how. If this was 50 and I move my wrist up, it was 30 now. Let's calculate the difference, okay? The new y value minus the previous y value. So I'm going to do 30 minus 50. What do I get? A minus value, okay? It's minus 20, but I'm not concerned with what value I get. Okay, it's minus 20, right? It's a negative value. So I'm going to tell my program that if the difference is a negative value, then this means you have to scroll up. But what if I scroll down? Now previously it was 50. Okay, now let's say it was 30. Okay, it was 30 and I scroll down and now it's 70. Okay, now let's calculate the difference. Now what is the previous wy value over here? The previous wy value in this case is 30 and the new wy value is actually 70. So I'm going to do 70 minus 30. 70 minus 30 is plus 40. Since it's a positive number, I'm going to say that yes, the user wants to scroll down. Okay, this is the logic that we're going to use to move our wrist up and down and to create a scroll effect. So the important thing to note is that the y values increases from top to bottom, and if the difference is negative, this means that I am trying to scroll up, and if the difference is positive, this means that I'm trying to scroll down. Now let's head back to our program. So initially when no hand is detected, I'm going to set this previous wy value as none, and now I'm going to come over here. The first thing that I have to do is to see whether this previous wy value is none or not, because if it's none, then we're not going to proceed. Obviously if there's no hand, then you don't have to scroll up or down, right? But if there is a hand, only then you're going to proceed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that if this previous wy value is not none, only then proceed. Okay, if it's not none, then we're going to proceed. Now, what's the first step that we have to do after this? To calculate the difference. To calculate the difference between this previous wy value and the new wy coordinate. Okay, so I'm going to call this difference as dy. D stands for difference and or distance, whatever you want to call it, and y is the y coordinate. Okay, so I'm going to say wy, which is our new y coordinate of my wrist, minus the previous wy coordinate. Okay, so this is going to calculate the difference. I'm going to repeat again. If this difference is negative, this means that I'm trying to scroll up, but if this difference is positive, this means that I'm trying to scroll down. Okay, now this next step that I'm about to do is completely optional, but you guys can add it if you want to. So since we are humans, it's possible that I'm trying to keep my hand still, but it's still not still. It's moving a little bit up or down. So in that case, what will happen? My program will assume that I'm trying to scroll up or down. So because there will be some sort of difference between my y values, right? So that will create a lot of chaos actually. So what I can do is I can tell my program that if the distance is very small, if this difference is very small, then you don't have to scroll up or down. Okay, but if the distance is, if this difference is greater than some value, any value, any threshold value, then only you can proceed, then only you can scroll. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. So if I want to compare my difference with some sort of threshold value, what I can do is I can convert my difference into some positive value. And how I can do that? I can use my absolute function, which is called as abs, and make my difference as positive. Okay, so if my difference, for example, is minus 20, it will become 20, and if it's 20, obviously it will be 20. Okay, so I can say that if this difference is greater than some threshold value, I'm going to say 10. You can put any value you want to. If this difference is greater than 10, only then you have to proceed, only then you have to consider that as a scroll. Okay, so what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to use my Power2GUI function, which is called as scroll, to make my cursor scroll, or to make my program scroll. Now I'll tell you two things over here. Okay, so if I pass a positive value over here, this means that you have to scroll up. Okay, and if I pass a negative value over here, this means scrolling down. Okay, now another thing is that when I calculated the difference, I told you guys that when this difference is negative, this means that you are trying to scroll up. But I just said over here that if I want my program to scroll up, I have to pass a positive value over here. So what I can do is I can convert my negative value into a positive value by multiplying it with minus. Okay, same goes for the other thing. When I'm scrolling down, my difference is positive, but adding a negative over here will make the difference as negative, and it will scroll down automatically. So what I can do over here is I can convert that into integer and pass my difference over here. Okay, so this will obviously work, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this with 2. This is optional, but just so that you scroll faster, what I can do is you can multiply it with 2, you can multiply it with 3 as well. This will just control the speed of your scrolling. Okay, now after this step you have to update your previous y coordinate as well, okay, because we were never updating it. So what I can do is outside the if block, what I can do is I can update my previous y value of my wrist and make it equal to my new value. Okay, now this will keep on updating my previous wy variable or my previous wrist y coordinate with my new wy coordinate, and this will happen in each frame. Okay, so this was exactly all. What you can do is this is an if statement that says if results dot multi hand landmarks. Okay, so what this if block is doing, it's going to work, it's going to execute only if it has detected any hand. Okay, but we have not written an else for this. Okay, so what I can do is right under this if I can write an else that says that if it has not detected any hand, I can keep my previous wy as none again. Okay, and this is very important actually, because it's possible that I move my hand into the frame and then I just move my hand away from the webcam. So in that case, when I bring my hand again in the webcam, it is going to consider the previous y value as this one, the wy. Okay, but it should consider the previous wy value as none, because there was no hand previously in the webcam and all of a sudden there is a hand, so the previous value should always be none. So that is why I'm going to say write an else block over here, and I'm going to keep the previous wy value as none. So now the program is complete, and I'm going to run the program, and hopefully we're going to get the same result that we got in the start. Okay, so if I move my hand up, it is going to scroll up, and if I move my hand down, it is going to scroll down. So we have successfully achieved this. So congratulations guys, your virtual mouse series is finally at an end. Now you can move your cursor using your index finger, you can touch by moving your index finger and your thumb close together, and you can also scroll by moving your wrist up and down. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one, and stay tuned. Bye bye.